So the theme, I am love, pure love, just as Brother Jarek said, it's so deep. But I think that is the most important thing for us to experience, because every time Swami rose to speak, he started with Prema Swarupulara, meaning embodiment of love. So love is the most important, and yet I have myself seen when anybody in all passion and all energy and enthusiasm, they tell Swami, Swami, I love you. Swami would say, this many people tell that. Meaning he would hold his hair and tell, these many people tell I love you, but do you know the meaning of I love you? Because all of us think that we understand love, but when we say love, the experience within each of us is so different. Because of this retreat, because of this meeting, I began to think about, yes, Swami, what is love? And all that got inspired is what I will share with you. Prem Ishwar hai, Ishwar prem hai. Which means, God is love, love is God. So we'll begin with that. Okay, love is God, but what is God then? Who is God? See, again, because God is a concept that varies in each one of our minds and hearts. When you ask a child what is God, an adult what is God, a person in India what is God, a person in Poland what is God, it will all be very different. So how do we understand God to understand love? From the Vedic times, there is a technique they have given in order to find out God. It is called Neti, which means not this, not this. So you start by telling, is this God? No. Is this God? No. Is this God? No. Is the mind God? Is the body God? Is this God? Is this God? Is this God? You tell no to everything, and after having said no to everything, what remains? That is God. I felt this is fascinating because with love also it works the same way. All of us think different things is love. But if you ask Swami, no, that is not love, that is not love. Having negated everything about love, what remains? That is love. In the Bhrigu Valli of the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is the story of a person who is trying to discover God. In middle of that story also, I will chant a bit of Vedas, because Swami says, even if you don't understand the Vedas, the vibrations will benefit. It is like, when a doctor gives a medicine, you don't know the chemistry of the medicine. But if you take the medicine, it will work like that. Bhrugurvaiva runihi varunam pitaram upasasara adhihi bhagavo brahmeti tasmat etat provacha. Bhrigu goes to his father and guru Varuni and says, it's actually father but his teacher. So he tells, oh teacher, tell me who is Brahman. The father says, I can't tell you, you have to experience. Go and do penance and find out. Bhrigu goes and starts doing penance. During the course of his life, doing penance, he suddenly feels, yes, I have understood what is God. He comes to his father and says, Annam brahme divyajanat annadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante annena jatani jivanti annam prayantya visamvishantiti. He comes and tells, Dad, food is God. It is by food that people and beings are born. Without food they can't be born. It is food that they grow. And when their time to die comes, they stop eating food, they reduce food and then they die. So food is God. And he says, very good, but you need to do more penance. This is how it happens even in love. Because food is representing the body. And we think bodily love is what is love. That is what we think. Swami would tell a story to show how wrong this is. He would say, after marriage, husband and wife are walking on the street, in the field. And then the husband sees that there are thorns on the ground. Thorns. So he tells, wait dear, and he goes, clears up the thorns and tells, now you please walk. And Swami would say the next year when they are walking on the same path, he will look and tell, hey, be careful, thorns are there.
Yes.
And the third year, Swami would say,
roku małżeństwa,
he won't even tell anything. He'll poke her leg.
Tylko wskaże ręką.
And then, hey, you blind woman, can't you see that thorns are there? That is because what you thought, they say love at first sight. It is not love at first sight. Mostly it is lust at first sight. Usually that will be biochemistry happening or hormones happening. Because that fades. Like that man who said, I will remove the thorns to telling that you are a blind lady, you can't see. What happened? The hormones faded, that's all. When it is at the body level, that's what happens. And that is why Varuna tells Bhrigu, okay, good, yeah, food is good, okay, fine, but you have to do more penance. So he goes and does penance again. Again, after time passes,
Po czasie pewnym
I know what is this. Pranam brahme divyajanat pranadyeva kalvimani bhutani jayante pranena jatani jivanti pranam prayantya vitam vishantiti. He comes and tells, Dad, prana, the life breath, the life force, that is God. That is the life force, that is the breath. So Dad tells him, yes, very good, but go and do more penance. In love also, right? We think, yes, maybe I'm attracted to somebody when they're young, but when they grow older, it is not. That is bodily. But you know what? I love my mother. I love my father. I love my pet. I love my brother. I love my sister. This is love. All relationships that we have in life. That is to the breath or the life in that person. And that is why when that person or that being dies, we cry, oh, you left me and went. Where he went? It's there only. No, but that's not about the life. I love the life. That is why we cry and tell you left, though the body is still there. And we think that is love. But just like Varuna telling Bhrigu, Swami will tell us, no, go and do more spiritual. Because as long as I remember, in my life, I have been a person who has loved my relations very much. But you know what? This kind of love to the life is actually attachment. It is not love. I'll give you an example. So when I was in, say, doing my masters in Swami's college, I used to have my roommates. They are like my family. Because Swami says, this is a place where each one lives for the other and everyone lives for God. So that is like my Sai family there. And I would be very attached. But I used to think this is love. I love everybody. But how can you make out straight away this is not love? You take this group itself. You will feel that you have love for everyone. Because we are united by the love of Sai. But you know what? You love somebody little more, somebody little less. In fact, if he is coming for the meeting, I will also come. Because yeah. Oh, he's not coming, then I also don't want to come. So in the hostel also like this, though I felt I'm loving everybody, unknown to me, I know that I like somebody more, I like somebody less. But it is so unconscious that I'm not even aware of it. So what happens is, if somebody whom I likes falls sick, I will go and find out, did you have food? Even if he's in another room, I will go at night to see, oh, you're covered well in the sheet. And he would be very, very touched. Naturally, somebody is pampering you and taking care of you. And I used to think this is my love. Then you know what, once I fell sick. And then there were boys who came and took good care of me. But I'm thinking, why did he not come? I'm not lacking anything. My food is coming, everything is well taken care of. But my mind, why did he not come? And I'm feeling sad. This is what I'm telling. Love cannot make it like that. So it's like, you know what? All of us are thirsty for love. So when I'm thirsty, I drink water.
Mam spragniony, piję wodę.
And if water gets over, I'll ask for some more water.
Poproszę kogoś o następną szklankę wody. This is
and
mine.
Get this for me. That is mine, that is attachment.
Yeah.
Now imagine if somebody got this for me and I tell, no, that is Sister Maria's.
I wyobraźcie sobie, że ktoś mi przyniósł tę wodę, a ja powiem, nie, ja nie chcę tej wody, to jest woda Marii.
Nothing is there in his. The water is love. My feeling for the glass is attachment. And this happens to each and every one of us. We are looking for that trust, that appreciation, that affection to come from somebody. From that. There are hundreds of cats in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything happens to one particular cat, it affects me. Other cats, it's okay.
It's not true.
When there is a flood and somebody in my neighborhood, something happens, I am very deeply affected. But there might be a flood that has killed thousands. Oh, very sad. That's it. That's all. It's over. Because this is my neighbor. And that is Sri Lanka. So for various reasons, we value some lives more than the others. In fact, this became such a big problem for me in college. Because I am expecting some people to reciprocate and they are not. And random strangers are coming and doing good to me. I don't want good from them. I didn't do anything. I have nothing with them. I want these people to do, but they are not doing. In English, they call this unrequited love, one-sided love. They'll come and, I don't know what to do. I'm doing everything for her. I'm doing everything for him. But they're not responding on it. Do I want to do something? So this is what I was suffering from when I was in hostel. I wrote a letter to Swami. This was when I was studying in Vrindavan, that is the Bangalore campus of the college. So we were going to Puttaparthi for the sports meet. I was praying, Swami, during that time, please take this letter from me. And in that letter, I had written this, saying, Swami, I give so much of myself to them and they don't respond. Why, Swami? What wrong have I done? Because it says, do unto others what you expect others to do unto you. I expect them to be nice to me, so I am being nice to them. But only I am following the rule, they are not following the rule. Yeah, many times I feel this in the world, Only rule applies to me, doesn't apply to others. That is why, when I go near a dog which is barking, they tell, don't worry, barking dogs don't bite. I know that. If the dog doesn't know it, if it bites me, what will I do? So, I wrote this letter to Swami and I said, Swami, please, all I want is to give this letter to you. And I got to know that I had won a prize, and on the 14th of January, Shankranti Day, Swami would be giving that prize and I will go on stage to receive that shield from him. I was praying, Swami, more important than that shield is to give me the shield that will protect me from all these people. Protect my heart. Because Swami, my heart is being hurt so many times by these people who don't follow the rule. When I do good to them, they're like, oh brother, you're so nice. Why don't you be nice like that when I'm sick? Why don't you come? So this was my situation. Every day I'm trying to give, those who have been there know it. The more desperate you are to give a letter, the more Swami will seem to avoid you. It's like that only. Swami, I want a flower, flower will come. Swami, I want something, it will come. Oh, nice. Then when you are Swami, please do something, please do. That time he won't come. You'll feel like that. So I'll come back to the story. I reminded of another story. What happened was, once I had done a test, hemometer test to check my hemoglobin. This was in the school at Puttaparthi, 1999. And my hemoglobin came little low. Today I know the reason for it. Back then I didn't know. My hemoglobin was low and I was very worried. They said for men it should be 13 to 16. And for women between 9 to 13. Mine was 11. And I thought in my blood I'm a woman. And I was very worried. Now I had seen in Darshan, there was a boy who got up and told Swami, I've got a pimple. And Swami said, oh, and materialized Vibhuti and gave it. So I thought if pimple can get Vibhuti, hemoglobin can definitely get it. Correct. Right? So when Swami came for Darshan, I got up and said, Swami, my hemoglobin is low. Laughing, how bad. I really thought Swami would tell, oh, don't worry, something like that, some affection. Thousand mother love, no? Swami said, sit down, and walked off. So I sat down and I was like, what did you do, Swami? You gave Vibhuti for pimple. I've seen it. You got hemoglobin deficiency. How, Swami? What doesn't? No, it's not. And Swami went ahead and adding salt on the wound. Like, somebody got up and asked something and Swami stood and he started materializing Vibhuti for them. He's giving Vibhuti to somebody else. But those days, whenever Swami is giving Vibhuti, a student who has a handkerchief, white handkerchief, can run to Swami and offer it for Swami to wipe his hand. This is to help Swami to clean his hand. Actually, it is to get Vibhuti mark on this kerchief so he can fold and keep in the altar. I saw this and I had a handkerchief, so I ran to Swami to give the handkerchief. This is how we would offer it to him. And that day, when I offered it like this, Swami moved this and applied that Vibhuti on my hand. And I was trying to, hey, sorry, you missed it, you missed your target. But Swami smilingly applied to the hand and just walked on. And then I realized, oh God, I wanted Vibhuti for my hemoglobin. Swami had given it, and I was thinking it. Even today my hemoglobin is low only. But I know he loves me so much. So that is the thing, it's not like Swami will solve the problem the way you think. Because he knows much more than what we know. He knows the past, the present and the future. And knowing all the things, he does what is best for us. Here now I had written to Swami, Swami, just take my letter because this is an assurance from you that you will take care of my heart. But he didn't take the letter. And finally came the day when I have to go and receive the shield from him. I was more interested in this shield for my heart than that shield which he's going to give. So I kept the letter in my pocket and I thought, when he's going to give me the shield, I'll go and give him the letter. And that is exactly what I did. So when we went on stage, Swami came and gave the shield. Two of us were there, we received the shield and I pulled out my letter and I'm giving. Swami didn't take my letter then also. So the other boy is looking at the camera and posing. I have got a photo there. I'm still looking at Swami like, Swami, please take. And it's not like he didn't see me. He saw me. You know what? Absolutely emotionless and expressionless. He's just seeing me. I'm desperate. He's just seeing me. The photos were taken and they announced the next prize and we had to get up and go. So I put the letter back in my
Schowałem
pocket.
list z powrotem i odszedłem.
And I was sad. Imagine you've gone to Swami, received a shield from him and you've come back and you're sad. Today I realized that this is the problem with attachment. Even though you'll be with Swami, standing next to him, Swami will be blessing you, you'll still be sad. Why did he come and give me my food when I was sick?
Dlaczego ten kolega nie...
Technically in our head we know that God is the greatest blessing. But still we are crying for something else. So we came back to Vrindavan again. I was very sad. Night after dinner, there will be some time. In the hall they will show us the news and then there is some free time. In a way that is my addiction time because that's when I'm building all these bonds. So that day when we had to go down, to see the news or whatever, I didn't feel like going down. I said, oh God, Swami, I'm still having the problem now. Because maybe you have also experienced it. Because the other person would say, Arvind, come on, don't be, what is there, nothing, it's cool. But it was not cool for me. It's like, why didn't you do? Why didn't you do? I expect you to do. What is your problem? When you were sick, nobody got food for you? No, they got, but he got, you didn't get. That's my problem. So I was sitting in my room and thinking, oh God, full letter over, we have gone to Swami, come back, I had darshan, everything, but still I am in the same position, nothing has changed. That is why Swami tells us to overcome these lower tendencies. Because if they exist, even if God comes into our life, we'll be sad. I say this because people say, if God is such an embodiment of love, will He not come to me if I get angry, if I get greedy, if I get lust? Will He not come to me? He will come, but you will not be able to get the joy because of these defects. So I was sitting there alone in my room feeling sad. At that time somebody comes and tells, Arvind, the warden is calling you. So I went to his room and he told me, Arvind, Swami has said that from the time we come back to Vrindavan, from today onwards,
Yes.
For his residence, Tarai Vrindavan, Swami wants more security. So he wants 4 or 5 boys to every night go and sleep inside his house. This time Swami picked you. Will you also be ready to go and sleep inside? See, Swami is most of the time in Puttaparthi. But when Swami is in Vrindavan, that time also you can go inside and sleep. Swami is the one who gives security to whole universe.
Yes.
What security we can give? Swami had a small room on the first floor. And down is the Jhula hall and the other place where we would all sit with Swami for Trai session. In that place we are supposed to sleep. As I sleep, I'll be thinking, if I break this, Swami will be there. Let me confess that those time I never saw Swami at night because by the time we would go, Swami will be already inside his room. But then, you know that he's here. You know that he's here. So first few nights I didn't even get sleep. I'm like, Swami, you're here. If I snore loudly, you can hear. So when warden told this to me, I was like, surely sir, I'm very, very happy to do this. But see, he tells me, you have to go in by 8 o'clock, which means this night time and free time, no, you lose your free time. You can't, you have to go in at 8 o'clock. It was like drug being taken away from the drug addict. So from that day onwards, as long as I studied in Vrindavan, I studied in Vrindavan for 3 years. So for almost 1.5 years, every night at 8 o'clock, I would go into Swami's own home. And because of that, I didn't have time to go and chit chat and make friends and socialize. See, Swami says, take one step towards me, I'll take 100. And I thought he did take my letter. While he was not taking my letter, he has already told warden to invite me into his own house. And here I am thinking, Swami, what, you're not responding, you're misunderstanding, what Swami, or you're not, I'm thinking all of this. What I have towards Swami is not love. What he has for me is love. Whatever you may tell, I don't care, I will do what is good for you, don't worry. Come in. You want to come to me? Come in. He took me inside. So it was beautiful when I was in Vrindavan. But then I came to Puttaparthi. And I was not sleeping in Swami's residence. So back to attachment. But by now Swami had taught the technique. Let me tell you another story.
Powiem wam jeszcze jedną historię.
There was a martial artist, a person who is doing martial arts like karate, judo. So let's say kung fu. So now there was this boy who wanted to learn kung fu, but he didn't have a left hand. So he can't fight properly, he has only one hand. His master told him, I will teach you, don't worry. You come, but do whatever I tell you, that's all. He said, okay, I'll come. And he started learning. Full time the master is teaching him some basic steps only. Do it again and again. Do it. Same thing. 1 year over, 2 year over, tournament is coming now. But He went to his master and said, Master, no, you're not taught me anything. How do I fight them? The tournament is going to start. And the master says, no, I will teach you. And he teaches him one step. But that is a basic attack. That's a very basic step. How will I win the championship with this? But you know what? He won the championship. He won the championship. How?
Jak?
Because the only way to defend against that basic move, you have to hold his left hand, and he doesn't have a left hand to hold. The boy's greatest weakness became his greatest strength. And when I heard this story, I got so inspired because all my life I have had this problem of being attached. And I have shared this with many people, many of my, even my own mother, my relations, everyone, that I have this what to do. And their answer has been, yeah, that is your weakness, you have to overcome. It is only Swami who told me that's not your weakness, that's your strength. I wondered how.
Jak?
Swami said, get attached to me. Get attached to me, no other attachment will touch you. And just like that, in one master stroke, this master of ours converted my greatest weakness into my greatest strength. And that is the reason why I say attachment is at the level of life, prana. I love this life, I'm not so attached to that much life. That is why Varuna told Bhrigu, go and do more penance. When we die, the body dies, it ends. But God cannot end. Similarly, when we die, the prana or the life force goes away. We may say that it goes again and comes in another body, but it's a different life force.
Mhm.
So now Bhrigu began to think, is there anything that doesn't die with us dying? Will it transfer over again? Because with death, it should not die. Then only it can be God. And he got the answer. He comes to his father and he says, Mano Brahme Divya Janat Manasa Hyeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Manasa Jatani Jivanti Mana Prayantya Visamvishanti Ti. He comes and tells, Father, mind is God. Because the mind goes across lifetimes. In Sanskrit, they call it vasana.
W sanskrycie nazywa się vasana.
I mean tendencies. Somebody as a child itself will go towards sports. Somebody will be meditating. Somebody will be very academic. How? How is each child so different at birth? You can train somebody. Like, you can provide full, say, sports training. But one child will become a super sports star, the other will not. Same training, different result. That is what modern science calls as nature and nurture. So this aspect is what is the mind carrying over to next birth. It is at the level of the mind that the karma carries over. That is why Swami would say, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Meaning, mind is responsible for both bondage and liberation. And Swami would say, mind is a bundle of thoughts. He would hold a handkerchief and say, this kerchief is made up of millions of threads. Each thread is a thought. You start removing the threads one by one. No cloth will exist. So also Swami will say, you remove your thoughts one by one, there's no mind. But it is very difficult. I will tell you, till you go to bed, don't think of an elephant. All of you already thought, right?
I wszyscy już od razu będą myśleć o słonie.
It's very difficult to remove thoughts. That is why Swami would say,
Dlatego Swami powtarza,
instead of removing thoughts, substitute the thought. Instead of thinking of food, think of God. Instead of thinking of wife, think of God. Instead of thinking of the sports game tomorrow, think of God. That is how you will reduce the attachment. But
ale
Swami also says mind can give you liberation. And for that he gives a beautiful example. He says the heart is the lock and the mind is the key. You turn it this side towards the world, it will lock you, bondage. Turn it this side towards God, it will free you, it will liberate you. So the mind can give you bondage as well as liberation. So mind is a correct answer but not the correct answer. So again when Bhrigu came and said that, Varuna said, very good, but go and do penance again.
ale
Because now the Guru is feeling happy that you are slowly going subtler and subtler. You from body you came to the level of life, from that you have come to the level of the mind. And how do you know we are going subtler? You only just see, to describe it becomes harder and harder. If your child asks what is body, you can easily tell. If they ask what is life, you can still tell the breath. If they tell what is mind, it will get
Okay.
tougher. In life also we see this. We think all this relationship with anybody, anything, all these are temporary. This is not true. We replace it with a cause or purpose in our mind. Like, let me become the CEO of this place. Let me become, say, the richest person, or let me help the maximum number of people. Let me end the war. Let me get Nobel Prize for peace. Like that, we replace it with some lofty goal. You are very goal driven. Like if we feel today in Poland, 10,000 people know Swami. In another 10 years, 1 lakh people should know about Swami. All this is done at the level of the mind. Ambition, planning,
Ambicja, plany.
overcoming challenges, desire. Is it bad? Is it good? Yeah, we can't tell it is bad, we can't tell it is good. But one thing we can surely tell. It is also not God, because it doesn't give permanent peace and fulfillment. Bill Gates became the richest man on the planet, and then he went to Africa to solve some problems. Why?
Po co?
He could live very comfortably, right? He will have no discomfort, everything that he wants he can get. Then why did he do that? Why do people who get everything give up everything and go, like Buddha? Buddha was going to be a king. He had everything. He had a good wife, nice child, full kingdom, and he gave up everything and went hungry, didn't get food also. Why? And I have seen this, in Swami's presence. Presidents and prime ministers come to meet Swami. Business people come to meet Swami. Later I realized, when Swami is coming and telling, businessman has come, politician has come, minister has come, there is such a beautiful message there. They are not coming to give anything to Swami. They are coming to ask for something. He's come to Swami like this. And here I felt Swami is showing us such powerful people, such rich people are coming. But I am spending time with you. And you, instead of focusing on me, are thinking how to make a better career, how to make more money. When you make a better career, make more money, you'll end up there. Again, you have to come to me only. Understand that after getting the greatest wealth, greatest power, greatest everything, you will not be satisfied. You will have to come back to God only. That is why, though the mind travels across birth, and as it travels, it keeps fulfilling all its desires and greater plans and greater ambitions, it will never lead to satisfaction and peace of mind. And the journey continues. Womb to the tomb, tomb to the womb, womb to the tomb, tomb to the womb. That is what Swami would say. Adi Shankara sang, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam, iha samsare, bahudustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare, bhaja govindam. He would say, again, this is what a life cycle is. From mother's womb you go and die and again be born. No way to break this cycle till you take refuge at the feet of God. And that is why, Swami would say, the greatest gratitude you can give your mother is to take a vow that I troubled you so much for 9 months in your womb. I will never trouble anybody else like this by going into their womb. So yes, mind is very powerful, but it is still not God. And the best way is to turn the mind also towards God. Have that desire for God. Tell Swami, I don't know how you are, I don't know what you are, but I want you, Swami. Share everything with Swami. If you're getting anger, Swami, I'm getting so angry, it's not good. Please help me, Swami. Swami, Swami. I'm sharing this from personal experience. Anything, I just tell Swami. Some people ask me, brother, how do you get love for Swami? I asked that also from Swami. There was a time when 3 days went and nothing happened. And I said, Swami, 3 days have passed and I did not cry for you. 3 days of my life have got wasted. Swami, every day I want to cry for you. I want you. Please fill my heart like that. That also from Swami only. So, this is something, this awareness, this knowledge is something very, very profound and powerful. Attachment is bad, but turn it towards God, it becomes blessing. Attachment is not love, but turn it towards God, it will start becoming love. Mind and desire is not love, but turn it towards God, it becomes closer to love. And you know what I have seen? When you turn all your desire towards God, all that you need in life automatically gets taken care of.
I wiecie co zauważyłem?
You turn your attachment to God, you will have better relationship as a child, as a father, as a mother, everything. All your relationships will become good. For a healthy tree, you need healthy leaves, healthy
I
fruit,
dla zdrowego
healthy
drzewa
branch.
potrzebujesz zdrowe liście, zdrowe gałęzie.
Everything.
Wszystko.
But you know what? Take the water and pour it only to the root. Automatically the fruit, the leaf, the stem, the leaf, everything will get water. That root is God. Nourish the attachment for God, nourish the desire for God. Automatically everything else will also prosper. This is that knowledge. That is why Bhrigu comes back and says, Vijnanam Brahme Divyajanat Vijnanadyeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Vijnanena Jatani Jivanti. Meaning, knowledge. This knowledge is God. Once you know have this knowledge, it becomes God. And Father says, very good. Go and do penance. Yes, even this knowledge, right? This knowledge, Swami would say, is not enough if you just have it. It should become awareness. And not ordinary awareness. Constant, integrated awareness, Swami would say. See, for example, being Swami devotees, we already have the knowledge that everyone is divine. But is that enough? I'll tell you one funny story. So Swami would narrate this story of Krishna and Arjuna going for a walk. So Krishna tells, look Arjuna, there's an eagle. Yes Krishna, it's an eagle. No, I think it's a dove. Oh yes Krishna, it's a dove. No, I think it's a parrot. Yes Krishna, it's a parrot. Arjuna, are you a fool? You're not even seeing up. You're simply agreeing and telling yes. Arjuna says, Lord, I trust your word more than my eyes. And Swami would tell this story and tell, look at the faith of Arjuna. Great faith he has. And I used to feel, sitting and listening, nothing Swami, even I can do this. If you give me a chance and ask me a question and tell this is a go, I'll also agree. I also have faith like Arjuna. In fact, while telling the story, Swami will change the birds. Once he'll tell owl, once he'll tell peacock, he'll keep changing the birds. I will see Swami, I'm accepting whatever story you tell. Right? Because when he's speaking, I would be writing. So I used to feel, see Swami, you've already changed so many birds. And I'm writing the same birds. So I have faith, whatever you tell. So I used to think that I'm as great as Arjuna. Then one day, there were new students who had come. They have newly joined. Many will be non-devotees also. So you see, when devotees are sitting, the way we tell story is different from non-devotees, right? If it's devotees, we'll tell, Swami, our love, I offer my humble pranams, we'll tell. Yeah, otherwise, we'll tell the great master who taught us the 5 human values. So right? Non-devotees. So like that, when fresh students come, right? We old students are looking for and hoping Swami make a good impact on them. They're new. So that day, Swami started telling the story again. Krishna and Arjuna are going for a walk. And I was making notes. In the notes, I won't write whole story because I know the story. I'll just note down the different birds that Swami Only that will change. So that day Swami says, Krishna said, look Arjuna, there's a lion. And I dropped it. I was like, Swami, what you're telling me, Swami? What will the new boy think? How can a lion fly? Then, but Swami is not at all bothered. He's continuing the story as if he's telling. And he says, Arjuna said, yes, Krishna. No, Arjuna, I think it's a horse. I was like, Swami, what you have to come back to the birds. Come back to the birds. Swami didn't come to the birds. And I thought it's big mess. I have to go back and we'll be the room monitor, senior students. So surely they're going to ask, brother, how? So what to explain? I have to start thinking now. Be egoistic, self-appointed protectors of Swami. Thinking I'm doing security duty even now. Anything that Swami gives is an opportunity, that's all. After that session got over, as I'm walking out, suddenly it hit me. Oh, I had an Arjuna moment here. And I failed. Because I am Arjuna as long as you stick to the birds. Shift to the animals, I don't agree. Arjuna had agreed even for horse and I said, Swami, I still have that faith, it was just a mistake. Give me one more chance. Next time if you tell Krishna told, look, dragon is there, I'll still believe. I'll write dragon. So one more chance. I never got the chance. Because after that day, whenever I have heard Swami tell this story, Swami will stick to the birds only, eagle, dove. In 2009 October, Swami travelled to Hadshi and Bombay. I got the privilege of going along with Swami as a photographer. So Hadshi is one small village. There is a big mandir that has been built by some devotees. Swami had gone lovingly to inaugurate that. So there what happened was in the morning he would spend some time with us students who had gone along with him. Whatever I see, I keep taking photos. So I thought when Swami comes, I will set up a screen and we will show him some photos of Hadshi. Because Swami only sees the bhajan and he goes back. Really, when I think of that, I must state it. It's very, very touching because Swami has lived his life like a prisoner, Because staying in one small room, nothing. How much sacrifice he has done, Even when he goes for the drive, what he sees? Outside his window, And our face, not new faces also.
Nawet jeżeli Swami...
And Swami will smile.
A Swami...
He will not tell, "No, I want to." Because I remember in Kodaikanal, they took Swami to see waterfall. He just saw people fall. Only people waterfall. That has been Swami's life, you know. You see a candle, it burns so that it can give light, no? He just used all his energy and time so that he can give happiness. That's how he is. And so therefore, I thought that, for example, the morning sunrise, then the devotees eating food, then how the lawns are so beautiful, so many flowers, all of this, Swami, you never get to see. I'll take photos and show it to you. Tell me all this is here. So then Swami agreed. He was sitting and I was showing all the photos to him. He agreed, he came and sat, and I was showing on my laptop, and on the screen the photos were changing.
Okay.
Then one photo came of Swami's residence in Hadshi, and behind the sun is there, orange sun. So the whole residence looked black, silhouette. So the whole sky is bright orange, and Swami's house is full black, silhouette photography. So I said, "Swami, see." And I showed so happily. Swami said, "Moon is very nice." And Swami, that is the sun. Swami said, no, night time, no? The moon. No, Swami, early morning time, sun. Then Swami said, but see, building very dark, it is night, I think, so moon. Now how to explain to him this exposure? Swami, I have exposed for the sun, therefore the building looks dark. Photography technique. We are having a conversation in Telugu. So I don't know, aperture, exposure, all this in Telugu, I don't know. I told Swami, I took the photo, it is sun. And Swami said, "Oh, okay, it is sun." Fine. And I went to the next photos. See, we sing, "Chand aur suraj tumne banai, nadiya sagar tumne banai, nadiya sagar tumne banai, brahmand nayaka Baba, Partipurishwara Baba." You have made the universe, you made the sun, you made the moon, but I photographed the sun. There, Arjuna told Krishna, "Whatever you say." Here I made the Lord tell, "Okay, whatever you say." That is the difference. And that is when I realized, oh God, another Arjuna moment is gone.
Exactly.
So you see, knowledge and awareness is not enough. It has to be constant. Whether Swami is telling eagle or animal or horse, it is constant. And it should be integrated, not just for a bird example. For all examples also I should remember this is God. That is why Swami would say, "Do so hum. So I am divine. I am divine. I know you know, but it's not constant integrated awareness. You say you are divine, but if somebody can say, "Hey," you shout at him. How?
Okay, that's a good.
So you see how Varuna is telling Bhrigu, not this, not this. Like that when we think, is this love? Is it? No, lust is not love. Attachment is not love. Mind and desire is not love. Knowledge is not love. Then what is Brahman? What is love? Stay tuned for part 2 tomorrow.
Zostańcie z tym pytaniem i odpowiedzią na jutro.
I'm grateful to Swami for this opportunity and thankful to Swami and all of you for giving me this chance of satsang. Because whenever I feel I speak, I listen to it, I get very inspired. Thank you for being fellow participants and travelers in this journey. Jai Sai Ram.